What do brands such as Off-White, Balenciaga, and Louis Vuitton have in common? Well, they've all dropped high-end sportswear collections, and they're charging top dollar for them. So in this video, we're gonna see if we can build a premium brand on a $50 budget and command luxury prices. But we're not just using blank clothing items. The challenge is to construct a full cut and sew brand and put together a top-notch marketing campaign to match. And once it's done, we're gonna take our pieces to high-end streetwear stores to see if anyone will actually buy them.
Oh, that's the name of the brand? That's sick.
Before we begin, it's important to understand the sportswear market and its growth potential for new brands. As a whole, health and fitness has seen tremendous growth over the last 5 years, with brands such as Alo Yoga now being valued at over $10 billion, sportswear stars such as Messi signing $100 million contracts, and companies such as Gymshark, ASRV, and Hoka absolutely taking over the streetwear market. By scrolling through social media or just doing a simple search, you can see this for yourself. But in order to capitalize on this market, you need to enter it with great designs, unique products, and even better marketing. And when it comes to designing sportswear, I thought of no other than the man Mayyar. He recently won a contest for Cortez that included sports apparel, so I knew he'd be the guy for this. So I compiled the images for the inspiration. Well, I think one of the most popular jerseys in the sport right now is Inter Miami, because of the man Messi, the GOAT, the one and only. Messi or Ronaldo? Let me know, guys. Let me know who you got. And once it was ready, it was time to show him our direction. What up, man?
Hey, man.
So for the most part, this is kind of like the aesthetic that I'm going for, or like the direction. I've also noticed some of the club jerseys either have like a simple neck, some have like a collar. So we don't just have to do one style, we can do anything that's sports related. Our initial meeting went great and he's on board to design the project. But since we're developing a new product, it's important to verify what the people in the market prefer.
They are typically polyester, right?
Polyester.
And as we spoke to the coaches, they all confirmed that polyester blends is what they're going for. It's good to know, good information. And with these details on hand, I called the factory we were working with to confirm if they had the right fabrics. And now it's time to meet with the man Mayyar to review the designs. I'm excited, man. You're always cooking up something unique. I'll just let you take it away, man.
I've been tuning in with sports, especially in the US and the streetwear fashion scene. So let me just share my screen. This is the first design. Following up our previous brand infographic. It's less like a real football t-shirt and more like a t-shirt that you can wear some casual pants, some denim, you can style it up. And the main thing that I was focusing on is the fit. Football t-shirts always fit tight and more comfortable to play and run with. The streetwear scene, they changed that into more relaxed fit. You have to think about it, that customer might wear it like just chilling, going outside, so it has to be comfortable. The other design that I did is this American football jersey. My main focus here was the colors. The colors that I chose are this yellow and this navy color that go very well together and very stylish and trendy in my opinion.
What's your thought process on the colors that you chose?
The main thing that I did is I just saw what colors that are matching the season that we're dropping these fall to winter. I tried to go with more darker colors. I didn't want to make it too bright. If I was to do this in summer, I would have experienced more with colors.
Now the difference between a mock-up and an actual product that you can wear is the patterns that you design on. With these patterns, it's a lot like a puzzle piece. I'm gonna end up getting the patterns. We'll have them do it more boxy. All we gotta do is just drop the designs into those patterns and then they'll just mock one up, and I'll send you the videos and photos of it being developed. The following day, the factory sent over their pattern, and after explaining how it was laid out to Mayyar, he filled the graphics in for us to start sampling. All right, you guys, here we have the football jersey that Mayyar created. So what we're gonna do right now is cut this pattern out. We're almost there. This little cutout here was an example of how you start to design your actual mock-ups into a cut and sew jersey. Printing it out on a small sheet of paper like this, you can verify that your designs are lining the right way. And now that we know that this pattern works, we're actually gonna start to print this thing out, and you guys are gonna see the step-by-step on what it takes to build this. Let's go check it out. Now to make our products, we're gonna be working with a US factory called Genre Sports, which specializes in sports apparel dye sublimation printing. Now they make uniforms for every sport you can think of, and after receiving the designs, they let us know that it's ready for us to start diving into it. Now inside of this room that we're about to show you guys is a dye sublimation printer. And the way that these printers work is that it's pretty similar to the printers that we have at home, which is why I said you should cut out one of your designs in order to verify that it matches up. Because what this printer's doing is it's literally gonna print out the design the same exact way on a large scale. So as you can see here, they got all of the different panels. We got the front, we got the back. We're also looking at the sleeves right now and the collar. Once this ink is on the paper, the next part of the process is gonna be to actually heat press it onto a white fabric. So right now we're in the bodega where they got all of the fabric. So whether it's football jerseys, soccer jerseys, leggings, anything in sports, you can literally make in the US. We chose a fabric. I went in the back and I wanted to get a particular fabric that I thought was gonna be a little bit different. So we just chose that out and now we're gonna go start printing. So this is how it all comes together, guys. So as you can see, they're laying out the fabric right on top of that paper. That paper is what has the ink at the end. It's gonna be married together permanently, doesn't wash off, it becomes part of the fabric itself. The colors you choose is what's gonna be printed, so the more detailed you are, the better. Check it out. Even though it's just a sample, it gives you a little bit more fire to continue. So don't let your designs stay on that computer. Transfer them to some paper, transfer them to some fabric, and then let's go make this by laser cutting it next. We're getting into the cutting process. So it takes a picture of it and then it traces out the lines. Now this saves a lot of manual labor because before it was all literally scissors and somebody having to cut out your pattern. This little bundle is what gets taken to get sewn. So we have all the front, the collars, the sleeves. A lot of factories when it comes to manufacturing are focused on like a single style, which means that if they're making shirts, they got to set up just for the shirts. Or if they're making hoodies, they got to set up just for hoodies in mass production. A lot of times when you're working with a manufacturer, it's the reason why they have such high minimum order quantities. Their factory is tooling for your production. So let's say their minimum orders are 300 pieces. That means that they're setting up their machines for your run to do all those 300 pieces at once. Now, when it comes to manufacturing these products, this factory is equipped to do 1 unit at a time, which means that the sewing setup that they have is very adaptable to multiple SKUs being made at once, which definitely allows you to test the market with new product ideas and make adjustments in real time. So they're just gonna set up the fabric for us, start printing it, cutting it, sewing it, and in a few seconds, we'll have a completed product. Check it out. And there it is, guys. Check it out. We got the finished jersey. It looks so good. I mean, just check out the vibrancy, the way that this came out compared to the mock-up. We'll throw the mock-up right up on screen right now. Before and afters. I don't know about you guys, but this looks fire. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably thinking this was really easy, but to be honest, the reality of doing cut and sew is that you're gonna run into some issues. And for us, it meant that the placing of the design wasn't right the very first time. You know, on paper, on flat designs, it looks good. But when you put it and it contours on a body, it's always gonna move a little bit. So in this example, it's almost falling off the chest. And we mixed up the front and back to the football jersey. Are we heading in the right direction?
No, you ain't. I mean, it's a good try though, but I would give that jersey 2 thumbs out.
And this is why it's important to always pay for samples. There could be little adjustments or big ones that need to be made. So with this in hand, I brought the information to Mayyar in order to tailor this design. So Mayyar, we finally had a chance to make those products, and before I show you how they come out, obviously I sent you the patterns that were for manufacturing. What was your thought process between the mock-ups you created and the files for production? What should people know before they go into manufacturing?
So it was my first time honestly working with patterns and trying to fit that. And the main thing that I kept in mind is the right placement, right sizing, what type of fabric you use, and the type of color that you use. That could be an issue depending on each factory that you work with, and the most important thing that you gotta know is the factory limitations. One thing that I kept in mind here, which was a bit tricky at first, is these pieces will be sewn together. So a couple of like millimeters will be taken off from the fabric. So if you want this to be in the middle, it shouldn't be in the middle in the patterns, because some space will be taken.
And the jersey is one that we did a couple days ago, and I had given you feedback of that, and it wasn't until I sewn it, I was like, yo, the G was supposed to go on the back, and then the graphic was supposed to be on the front. but we kind of got it mixed up. But I think that's also important to notice, you always got to send in a sample and see like, hey, where did I mess up in design? So now the next thing I want to do is obviously just put these into sewing. That way we get the final product. And with the new changes made, it was time for us to start on marketing. Guys, check it out, check it out. We got the final product in. After making the adjustments, we moved in the G, we moved in the graphics. You guys could also see the football jersey that we're gonna show you right here up and close. And in order to market this to a new brand, it's important that you just consider the visuals that you're gonna portray to your customers or potential customers. Now, when it comes to photography, the better the camera, the better the quality of the image. But to be honest, iPhones today are amazing, so don't overthink this. We put a light as well as a simple background, which will allow us to do some edits with AI. So we're actually going to change me out for somebody else, and we're also going to change the man Preston out for a different model. The idea is for this to look like a new product dropping for your brand. So make sure you consider up close shots for the product images. If there's unique graphics or if you did some embroidery or embellishment, really highlight those. If it's a unique fabric like the football jersey, highlight the holes as best as you can through the photography. The idea is that you're getting assets that you need in order to start your marketing, which will then plug into a marketing campaign, and we're going to show you guys how all that works. Let's get into the marketing approach for new brand owners as well as existing brand owners. Now, for those existing brand owners, it's very important that if you've already generated sales and you already have customers, go out there and talk to them offline, online, wherever you could find them. What does this mean? This means going through your customer database and sending up a follow-up email and asking them to connect. This could also mean just looking up their name and trying to find their Instagram account based on the people that are following you on Instagram. This is a great way to start putting a face to the customer, and more importantly, start to really understand how they're living out their life, the brands that they follow, and the interests that they have. Why is this important? Because if you're thinking about expanding into a sportswear brand, it wouldn't necessarily make sense if nobody in your market was into sports. The goal here isn't necessarily to promote it to everybody right out of the gate. It's just about putting it in front of your core customers. So drop the new product page and make it available as a pre-order. Now, by making it available as a pre-order, you get to see, okay, do my core customers actually want to cop? You let them know, hey, this is a limited time drop. You get a discount for being a core customer. That'll allow you to see, okay, how many people actually are interested in this? That'll give you a good gauge into how many units you should order for the rest of your store. And right now you may be wondering, okay, so how do I message? What's the best way to filter and segment these customers? You're currently using Shopify emails to send out your promotions and campaigns. You're leaving a lot of money on the table, and it's the reason why you should consider using OmniSend. Now, OmniSend is an email and SMS text marketing platform, and they make it very easy for you to segment your audience and really get your brand and new products in front of the right people at the right time. And the way that OmniSend works is that it connects directly to your Shopify store. So all you gotta do is literally just plug it into Shopify, download the app, connect your store, authorize it, and it'll import all of your contacts as well as their purchasing information. By having this available, you're able to segment your list and offers to people that are most likely to buy. And again, this is a strategy we just discussed to launching and expanding a brand. OmniSend makes it possible for you to do this really easily. Now, if this is the very first time you starting a brand, you're still gonna wanna take a similar approach, but instead of seeding it out to potential customers, you need to seed it out to your audience. So with OmniSend, you're able to actually build out a landing page and an email capture form. By doing this, you can share some photos and some teasers on that landing page and get people to opt into your list. The beauty about OmniSend is that you can get started for free. So it's absolutely no cost, and you can launch your landing page, start collecting leads, and then as you get ready to launch, you can stay in touch with them through email and SMS text marketing. And the importance here is to keep all these things in mind as you start to market this new product, because it may be something new to your audience, but it may be the product that your audience has been looking for and you could provide. And with the visuals and marketing now locked in, it's time for us to take it to a high-end boutique. Now, whenever we do these types of videos, I call the store in advance and ask them to just give us their real feedback. I also walk them through exactly what we're gonna do, and after speaking to the manager, he approved of us filming and getting their reaction. But once we arrived, we ran into a major issue. After recording their full reaction, it was advised that I wasn't allowed to use the footage.
You can't post that. Yeah, we can't do that with like any competitor brand.
All because you don't carry it, you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
So out of respect for their request, we're gonna blur out their faces, but we're gonna get on with this review.
The idea for this was to expand on a collection that we had made before.
Okay.
So the
Their jerseys.
Yeah, so this is one of the jerseys I wanted you to review. Yeah.
This is fire. The colors remind me of like a vintage jersey colorway, you know what I mean? I think maybe the only thing that would change is maybe raise this like slightly.
Okay.
Because as you can see, it's like
A little bit to the stomach.
a little bit to the stomach. Quality jersey. I like the colorway a lot. I like the G hit in the back. What's the name of the brand?
Graphic.
Graphic. Oh, that's the name of the brand? That's sick.
Yep. Would you say, like, if somebody were to retail this, what could this retail for to sell?
You can get away with a decent amount when it comes down to jerseys. Jerseys are really popular right now. So, I'd probably go like 100, maybe 110 for it.
On this quality, for this quality,
Yeah.
what we did. Okay.
I would say so. I like this one. I love the colorways on it. Like it's like reminds me of like a Wonka brown, like a Wonka chocolate. Super sick. I think the only thing that maybe I would change on this is maybe make this like where it's like stitched. Maybe.
Added some detail.
Add a little bit of detail, a little bit of dimension to it. And maybe switch up the 10 a little bit. Maybe a different font, maybe stretch it out a little bit. But then that same quality is good. Super thin for the summertime. And it's a soccer jersey, it's supposed to be breathable. So this one's good too. I would say retail wise, it'd probably go, just because it's not knitted or anything like that, because this isn't like stitched, I would say probably like 80, 90.
So the people have spoken and they said what they said. But right now you're probably wondering, okay, how much does this actually cost to make and how much can I potentially profit? Now, when it comes to making just one-off product, one at a time, you're gonna have a higher cost. And if you go on the website, it'll range anywhere between $45 to $50 for one piece. But if you are bulk manufacturing and doing more than one piece and you qualify for wholesale, you can get this anywhere between $25 to $30 a piece, which means that it's a substantial amount of savings, which if you can command a $50 to $60 to $100 price, there's some good money in manufacturing custom designs like this. But again, it's really important that you consider the line extension. How can you go from a basic t-shirt collection to a sportswear collection? It begins by understanding who your audience is and being able to really market this new line the right way with a premium price point for it to make sense for you to invest into. Because the reality is you're gonna have to cough up a couple hundred, if not thousand, if you're doing a large run. So you wanna make sure that you can sell through it so you don't carry any stock. And if you're watching this line right now and you're wondering where the other t-shirts come from, well, we actually made a video that we designed where we designed this collection and we talked a little bit more about the design process. And if you enjoyed this video, I recommend that you watch that one that we're gonna link right here. And if you're a new viewer to this channel, I highly encourage that you check out all the free resources that we included in the description down below. It gives you access to free Shopify themes, as well as blueprints and manufacturers like the ones that you saw here today. Our goal is to help you start and grow from the ground up. So check out the links in the description down below, get all your resources, and I'll see you guys on the next video.